So you've learned how to simplify expressions. Let's talk about how we can evaluate expressions. But first of all, what does evaluate mean? Evaluate means that we're going to substitute in a value for the variable in our expression and calculate the resulting value. So let's look at an example with that. And with this example, I'm going to use the modeling tiles just so you can visualize what it is that we're doing. But on the rest of the examples, I'm not going to use them. And hopefully you guys can kind of train yourselves to not rely on the modeling tiles so much. But it's a good way to visualize what we're doing to start out with. So we're asked to evaluate the expression 4x plus 10 when x equals 2. So in our expression, we want to substitute in a 2 for x and then solve or find the resulting value when x is 2. So let's use our modeling tiles for this first. So we need to model 4x plus 10. So 4x's would be 4 of these tiles. And then plus 10 would be 10 of the 1's tiles. So 5, 10. Okay. So when x equals 2. So that means these x tiles right here, I no longer have to call them x anymore. They're equal to 2. Okay, because I want to know what it is when x is equal to 2. So now I'm simply going to add up how many, or the value of this set here. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 still. So I have 8 and 10 is 18. So let's see what that looks like with the expression without the tiles. So I have 4x plus 10, and when x equals 2, so I want to replace or substitute the x with a 2. I'm going to use parentheses just so I can keep my signs straight. Okay, now we calculate the resulting value. What's 4 times 2? 4 times 2 is 8. So that's where the 8 comes from, and then we still have plus 10. 8 plus 10 is 18. So there we have it. To evaluate the expression 4x plus 10 when x equals 2, we get 18. Okay, let's see what this looks like without using modeling tiles. We need to evaluate the expression negative 2x minus 7 when x is equal to negative 3. So my expression, negative 2x minus 7. And I want to substitute in a negative 3 for x. So once again, remember to use parentheses whenever you substitute things because it helps you keep your signs straight. So there was an x, so I replaced it with a negative 3. So now I have a negative 2 times negative 3. Negative 2 times negative 3, that's positive 6. And then I still have minus 7. 6 minus 7 is negative 1. So to evaluate this expression, when x is negative 3, I get negative 1. Okay, last example. Evaluate the expression negative 6x plus 5 when x is equal to a half. Okay, so fractions are scary, but we know what we're supposed to do. So we have negative 6x plus 5 as our expression. We want to evaluate it when x is 1/2. So remember to use parentheses anytime you substitute and rewrite it. There we go. Now we multiply negative 6 times 1/2. So in other words, we need to take 1/2 of negative 6. You can use a calculator and do negative 6 times 1/2 or negative 6 times 0.5. And you should get negative 3, because half of negative 6 is negative 3. Then we still have plus 5. Then we calculate negative 3 plus 5 is 2. So to evaluate this expression when x is 1/2, we get 2. Okay, that's it. Go ahead and move on to your next video for another skill that we're going to be working on with expressions.